Hello. Now, in the last van build series, after completing the Vivaro, I think that was the 7th Vivaro I'd made, I decided to do something a little bit different. And what I have outside here is the Peugeot Boxer. And this is an L2, so it's a medium wheelbase, and it's H2. So we can actually stand up in this one. It's going to save the knees a little. Let's have a look around it. This is a 2018 Peugeot Boxer. I think it has 78,000 on the clock, and this is what it looks like inside. Now, as I say, much better headroom. Look at that. A little bit of grime on the floor. I've already taken the panels off this, and I've taken the bulkhead out, and we've got a little bit of grime and stuff on the floor here, which is usual and to be expected. I've also already put the side window in, and I've put the two back windows in, which is exactly the same procedure as putting them in any other van. I'm going to put one of these long oblong windows in here, so I will video that and make a specific video about how to put those universal bonded windows in. But for now, we have a project to get started on, which is good. In the cab here, very nice condition. There's no rips in the seats or anything like that. Been well looked after, I think. Comes with a full service history, and there's a little sticker on the engine compartment saying that its timing belt was done at about 68,000 miles. So very confident about this one. But as I say, we've got a bit of clean up to do, and as always with this type of project, I like to start with a good plan. So I've taken the dimensions of this, the internal dimensions, and in the workshop I have a series of drawings, so I can show you exactly what I hope to do with this over the coming weeks. Now again, as I say, autumn is coming on, and we are going to be a little bit weather dependent, but we have a nice day today, so we're going to crack on with it. I've made a little folder for this just to keep everything together. I was thinking on these types of colours. This is like a very dark purple for the doors, and a lighter sort of grey colour for the woodwork and frames. We also have a nice oat scone here and a delicious cup of coffee. Now, in the folder, I already have a sort of work schedule figured out here. Again, the sequence of events is pretty much the same in every van. But what we do have here is a series of drawings. This is the plan view. I'll show you that. There it is. And the idea here is we're going to have this U-shaped seat in the back with a table which will drop down and make this into a bed, because this is indeed wide enough to sleep this way. It's 1830 millimeters this way, which is just about 6 feet. Now, so we're going to have seating area and bed here. We're going to put a diesel heater in this, which I'll probably place about here, not quite decided on that one yet. And along this side we have a series of cabinets to take the electrics, the gas. We'll have a set of drawers here and another cabinet. And on this side, the passenger side, where the sliding door is, we'll have the sink, water tanks and more storage. So that's a rough plan. I've also made the elevations for this, and again I'll just show you that, give you a look at that. Just if you want to take a screenshot, if you would like to do something similar to this, that's it there. So we have the fridge in here. Sorry, I said drawers were going in there, but it's not, it's a fridge. And again, these cabinets can be much taller than the ones in the Vivaro, so you can afford a cabinet with a drawer above. We're going to have this section here for the majority of the electrics with a cubby hole here. What else can I tell you? We've got some overhead storage, which will be in line with the bottom cabinets, just for symmetry. And here we have the universal bonded window. We have one on this side, and we'll have one on the other side as well in this seating area. Now also we have the barn door windows on the back, so there'll be plenty of light in there. I'm not putting a window on this side. Instead, I'm going to put an extraction fan in the roof, and that will handle anything coming up from the hob, which will be here. So that is the driver's side elevation. Now we also have the passenger side, and again there is a look at that. Now I've not put dimensions on this, but the dimensions for it are indeed on the plan view, and the idea here is very much the same. We've got the window into the sliding door already. We're going to put another one of those universal windows in the back there, and we're going to build these cabinets. Again, the rest of the electrics will go on this panel here, and we have overhead storage. This will be the water compartment, and this again will just be storage, and we'll also have storage underneath the bed area. So this is going to be an interesting project, a lot of work to do there. There are the plans. I'm quite happy with this layout. I tried a couple, but went back to the drawing board each point, and I think I've come up with one here which I'm pleased with. I can sort of see this in my mind, how this will be. We have rough dimensions for it. As I say, with any plan things may change as we go on, but that's what we've got. So the first thing to tackle here, as I say, I've already done the windows. First thing to tackle is we want to give this van a good clean inside and outside. The roof is fairly grubby, so I'm going to get up and jet wash the roof, sort all that out so it's ready for the installation of the fan and the solar panel. So I've got my bucket, I've got a sponge, I've got some cleaning materials here, and this is the next job. Okay, so floor cleanup. I've done the walls and stuff like that, no great problem there, but I don't know what this is. This just looks like years of hardening dust, and I think the best way to get that off, it may need wetting a little to loosen it up, or a lot of it may just scrape off. I made this plywood scraper, and that does seem to lift it, so I may just continue that for a while and see what we get. I'd rather get the majority of this out before we start putting water and things on the van. This looks like it would just turn to a sludge, so this seems to be the job. A plywood scraper, a plastic one would have been handy, but I don't have one, and that will hopefully get the majority of that stuff off there, and then we'll hoover all of this up. Ready, first go, got the majority of that off, I think. Now I'm going to wet it at this point, and see if that will come off just with some hot soapy water. But I think I'll wet it and let that soak first, because it is fairly stiff stuff. So I'll wet that up, then we'll come back to it. Yes, this is just going to be a slow, laborious task, but I think it'll be worth it. The van is looking very good actually under this. There's no major marks or anything on it. So I shall continue. Yes, that's had a chance to soak a little, and that is now breaking up fairly nicely. Okay, I think we're getting there with the cleaning. This is looking a lot better. Got the major crud off there. What I'm going to do is get the major stuff off, get it out the back of the van, then we'll change the water and give this another final clean, and then that should be ready to start getting the insulation down. Okay, a whole lot of scrubbing later, and I think this is looking much better. Still a few little bits and pieces which I'll take up once this is dried off, and I'll take a fresh look at that next time I do some work on the van. But the next thing that needs cleaning on this van is the roof. Rarely do the roofs get cleaned on this type of van. This one looks particularly grimy, so what I'm going to do is get it on the ladders, see which is going to be the best way to get all that stuff off there, because we want to get that off before we put the fan in and before we put the solar panel on. So very next thing to do, up on the roof. Alrighty, got the ladders up, we're going up. It's quite grim up here, I tell you. Look at that. That would appear to have not been cleaned since the van left the factory, but that's okay. We can clean it. what I have here is some kitchen degreaser, and what I've found is if we just spray this on, let it sit for just a moment or two, then that is going to come off. So I think the procedure here is to do the whole roof like this, and then I'll get the jet wash and get all of this crud off here. So quite a job, but here we go. Okay, with hands like prunes and very little left in the detergent bottle, the roof is looking much better. Look at that. That came off relatively easily, actually. A little bit of scrubbing here and there, but that seems to have done the job very well. This has a degreasing agent in it apparently, which is very good. So I'm pleased with that. See if we can make it back down these ladders. There we are. And some more stuff just arrived whilst we were doing that. I'm going to find out what that is. And that's it for this video. Next time we will be doing more of the external work on the van. I want to get all of this external work done because I do think the weather's going to come in a short while. So I want to get as much of that done as I can. That will include the extraction fan, the solar panel, the mains hookup, and I think that's it for the external work. So I'm going to get onto that next time. In the meantime, I thank you very much for watching, and if you would like to see how this van turns out, please do consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you very much.